Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching East G01 in the Iowa, the Tier 9 US battleship. He is on the map Sea of Fortune in a 3-point domination game mode. It's a Tier 9 battle with not so many Tier 9s around. There is only one Tier 7 carrier, but there are quite a few destroyers, so torpedoes are something to watch out for. Now, as usual, this replay is on warreplays.com and there will be a link in the video description. Now, here in the beginning of the game, East is moving towards Point Charlie. The destroyers are in the front and will hopefully provide some vision. It looks like there are also quite a few friendlies moving here towards Point Alpha, but the enemies will enter the point first and they do have quite a bit of air support there, so the destroyers might not be able to do much. And, well, it seems like nobody's interested in Point Bravo so far. We can see the first enemy here. The destroyers have started capping. It looks like the enemy destroyer might be forced to retreat here. Fortunately, no hits on the enemy destroyer, but Beast is focusing the enemy destroyer. It's important to make the enemy retreat and protect the friendly destroyers while they are capping. And they successfully claimed Point Charlie. Now here in Alpha, the friendly Air Force seems like he lost the fight. The enemy planes now have control of this point and they will keep spotting the friendly destroyers, so the friendly destroyers have to retreat because they're probably under fire of a lot of ships. The bigger ships here, the friendly ones, are still kind of far away from the point. And I'm not sure if it's a great idea to go here so far towards the left. You want to be in a closer position towards that point if you want to support taking that. Also, the friendly team is losing Point Bravo. They don't have any ships there, so it's just free capture for the enemies. Now, meanwhile, Beast is moving in aggressively here. Unfortunately, his support is going behind this island, and pretty soon they might not have shots at those ships. The destroyers are still sticking around, and that's nice. Now Beast is turning around here. He waited until there were 2 fires and then he got rid of the fires. Now there is absolutely no reason to push further into those enemies. They already control Point Charlie here, and as I said, the support ships here, they are not in a position to help him currently. The destroyers are, I think they are trying to take Bravo now. And there are quite a few enemy ships here. Oh, this destroyer is sticking around. He might be going for a torpedo run on those battleships. And well, there is an island in front of him. He probably needs to turn hard towards the left. Running into ground in this position would be rather deadly. Bismarck is coming in fast, I guess. The Bismarck is an excellent brawler, even though it's only a Tier 8 ship. And the Bismarck has obviously amazing armor. And the secondaries will just keep setting him on fire. There are also some torpedoes incoming here, but they should be easily avoided. And Beast has to retreat here. There is a massive enemy force here. He is under fire from multiple ships. There is at least one destroyer here hiding in the smoke. And yeah, his support ships are not really in a good position to support him. This destroyer is sticking around here, and that destroyer might also help provide a little bit of advance warning if there are torpedoes incoming. he could also, and we will see that a little bit later, he can provide a defensive smokescreen. And it looks like those torpedoes are going to hit the Bismarck, which is nice. The Bismarck is heavily damaged and in retreat. And it looks like Beast returned just in time. I mean, turned around just in time, and he is escaping the enemy team. There is a juicy Kuznov showing broadside. Unfortunately, he is now hiding in the smoke. If you have not a target selected, so if he's like hiding in smoke and you can't see him, you can still shoot the enemies, obviously, but your accuracy will be a lot worse if the target is not selected. So shooting ships in smoke is rather tricky, even if you know their position. And here we can see the friendly destroyer, who is flying a smoke screen here, which allows Beast to turn his ship around. Usually when you turn your ship, you're very vulnerable because you are showing your broadside, but obviously if you aren't spotted, that doesn't matter. And it now allows him to take shots at the enemy without being seen. I think this would be a lot easier if those friendly ships would have stuck around here with him. I mean, they are probably trying to somehow use this island as cover, but this battleship, there isn't any point in here pushing farther north. They control Point Charlie here, they wanna defend it. And he has to be careful if he pushes here north. He is showing broadside towards those ships, so he kind of has to go directly towards them in order to avoid being shot. Well, to avoid being shot in the broadside. And the friendly battleship here goes down. When you see his position, he might have been in the process of turning away, but he was showing his broadside to way too many enemies. There is a Kagero coming here. East is still safe in the smoke screen. By safe, I mean not being seen. Now he is going for the cover of the island, and he also supported killing this destroyer. Now overall this game looks, I think, okay. Yeah, friendly team controls Charlie and Beta. They are in the process of capturing Alpha and they might be losing Beta. There are some planes trying to interrupt this destroyer, but the enemy's anti-air is already there. And, well, the enemies do have a sizable force here, but unless they make a decisive push with those ships, that's not really any help. Unfortunately, Beast has run into ground here and now he's maneuvering to get out of here. Fortunately, it's in a decent spot. He has quite a bit of cover here. And well, it looks like that a decisive push from the enemies is imminent. They managed to take Bravo. The friendly team has quite a few ships here at Alpha. Not so many defenders here, so this push could very well work.
Problem solved, sir. All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
And yeah, the enemies are moving in. They have started to capture Charlie. He's bringing his ship around and he will probably try to power on tank against this force. Maybe using this island as a little bit of cover. And look at that, there is Scharnhorst showing broadside. That's awfully nice of him. And the friendly destroyer here, who has been sticking around the whole game, is still around. Means he will probably be able to unleash some torpedoes. Now the enemies do have a Kuznov with them, and the Kuznov can provide a smoke screen, which might make this a little bit awkward. East is going to focus the Kuznov here. The Kuznov is, well, like as easy to destroy as you just saw. Unfortunately, that salvo wasn't enough, and now he is hidden in a smoke screen. He's starting to reverse here, which is a pretty good choice. You don't want the Scharnhorst to be at your side. If the Scharnhorst pushes forward and gets on his side, then he will get shot in his broadside. Also, the Scharnhorst has 6-kilometer torpedoes. Staying outside of the Scharnhorst's torpedo range is a very good idea. Meanwhile, the friendly team is capturing Beta, and there might be some reinforcements inbound. And this Scharnhorst is pretty much done for. The Scharnhorst stayed in the cap circle for a while and didn't want to push because he wanted to cap. The Scharnhorst would have pushed more aggressively. Well, I'm not sure what would have happened. He might have made it the side of the Iowa. But then again, he was showing broadside himself, so... Now it's looking pretty good for the friendly team now. While the push of the enemies worked, it was probably too late and they've lost too many ships now. And well, with the threat of the Scharnhorst dealt with, Beast can now push forward again towards those last remaining enemies inside the cap circle. I'm not sure what the enemy Iowa is doing, but he is showing broadside to another Iowa. That's not what you wanna do. Yep, and there is a Confederate. So yeah, at this point it's pretty much just moping up the remaining enemies. Friendly team is in a great position, it's rather hard to lose that. And well, the Colorado is just no match for an Iowa. Now that leaves the enemy carrier and a destroyer. We can see the destroyer is on the left, the carrier is, well, just behind this island, and Beast now decides to go after the carrier. Secondaries open up on the destroyer. Well, let's take a look at him. He is launching his torpedoes towards that Pensacola, so he should be safe from torpedoes here until the destroyer reloads. And this island is preventing some of his maneuvering anyway. Instead of turning his guns towards the destroyer, he is going to hunt that carrier. I might have just gone after the destroyer myself, but there are friendlies who can take out the destroyer. And he sees some juicy XP floating in front of him. This game is pretty much won anyway. So I think he just wants to get some juicy hits on the carrier before it's over. And you know, The secondaries might deal with the destroyer anyway. Yep, those are some juicy hits indeed. And well, point-wise, they are almost there, so he needs to kill this ranger quickly, or the time will just be up. Well, not the time really, but they will just reach 1000 points and win that way. And there is the high caliber. The destroyer is spotted again, the secondaries open up against the destroyer. And he gets the kill. And with that, they'll just win. Let's take a look at the results. East G01 managed to get 2939 base experience, 4 kills and 37 plane kills. And he certainly played very well. He aggressively helped take Point Charlie in the beginning and then stuck around and defended it. He realized when he had to retreat, but he was always close to the point and he did his best to fight for it. Now also shout out to Doc Gus, the Kagero, who stuck with him and provided him with support, with spotting, with defensive smokescreen. And well, he did also very well for himself in this game. Now Beast managed to get himself close quarters expert, fireproof, dreadnought, high caliber and confederate. And he didn't score the most damage, but I think he played very well. He was where he needed to be. He realized when it was time to be aggressive and when it was time to be defensive, and he stuck around the capture point for the whole time and fought for it the best he could. So I hope you enjoyed watching that battle. I certainly did. And I'll see you guys next time.